Today we will be teaching you how to install the required software for beginner, intermediate, and advanced C++ courses at justCode Academy. So in this video, there will be three different sections: how to install for Mac, Windows, and if you don't have enough space for any of those, how to install the other. So to start off with Mac, first open up your App Store. And all you have to do is search up Xcode. As you can see, Xcode pops up. This is the app that you want to install. That's from Apple themselves. And as you can see, I already have it installed. Now, the problem with this app is that even though it says it's 11 gigabytes, it's really worth like 43 gigabytes. And so if you don't have enough space, we can move to the other. If you're watching this part of the video, that means you do not have a MacBook, so you are on Windows. And so to start off for this installation, open up your favorite browser, because I'll be using Microsoft Edge. Next, once open, go to visualstudio.microsoft.com/vs. When the page loads, you should see something similar to this. Hit download Visual Studio. Hover over it and hit Community 2019, as this is the free version. Once clicked, you should see a page similar to this and a new file pop up down here that is downloading. As you can see, the file is downloading right now. And once it's done, it's going to have a link saying open file. Okay, so the file is now downloaded. We want to open it. And now we can close the tab. Next, you should see a window like this saying preparing, and then a bunch of some path. And that means you're installing the installer. Next, you should see a window saying this. Do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Hit yes. This is installing the installer. Next, you should see a window saying this. Hit continue, as this will install the installer. next you should see a window looking like this. And this is going to show up a bunch of boxes with check marks. And so we want to click .NET Desktop, and that will install all the tools that we need for C++. And you should see something like this when it's loaded. So you want to scroll down and hit Desktop Development with C++. And this will allow us to use C++ with Visual Studio. Select that, let the side load, and hit Install. After you hit Install, this is the longest part because then you can wait as it will be installing, and this takes the longest amount of time in this entire installation process. And once the this installation process is over, then Visual Studio should pop up with a window for some basic stuff. So like, what type of view do you want? Do you want a dark view, a light view, and all that stuff? And then a few configurations, and then you're good to go. Let's say that you don't have enough space for Visual Studio, or you don't have enough space for Xcode. So this is the other option. The other option is an app called CLion that's from JetBrains. So to install, open up your favorite browser. As here I'm using Safari. And then go to jetbrains.com. Then you want to go hover over Developer Tools and hit CLion. Now, as you may notice, it says get free 30-day trial. This is because CLion is actually a paid app, but there is an actual exploit that we can use to have it free forever. And so when we hit the download button, we should see our operating system highlighted. So since I'm on Mac, the Mac is highlighted. If you're on Windows, Windows will be highlighted. And if you're on Linux, Linux should be highlighted. And so I'm on an Intel Mac, so I would have to download the DMG Intel. If you're on Windows, you can either use the exe or the zip. I would prefer the exe though. And so you want to just install. And as you can see here, the download process has started. Alright, so the file's installed. Now we want to open it. You should see it opening the file and verifying if you're on Mac. And on Windows, you should see a window pop up immediately or in a bit. So if you're on Mac, you should see something like this. So you'll see CLion, drag to applications. So pretty much that just says drag and drop this into applications. And as you can see, it says preparing to copy to applications, and this will copy the entire app into applications. Okay, and so once that's done, then you're good. And so that's the process for Mac. Now I'm going to show the process for Windows. And so if you're using Windows, you should see the exe file download. Okay, so the file is now installed. That's how the icon should look like. And when you double click it, a window looking like this should pop up, saying that it's verifying the installer. Next, you see a window looking like this, saying, do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? Hit yes, as this will allow the installer to install CLion onto your computer. Next, you should see a window like this, and it should say, welcome to CLion setup. Hit next. Then you can hit next again. Then you can hit next again. And next, you just see something like this. If you're using a 64-bit computer, then you can hit the 64-bit launcher, and the other options are optional, but in this class we'll be using mostly CPP files and .h files, so you may want to check .cpp and .h in the create association section. Then hit next. Then if you want to add CLion to your start menu folder, then you can. It is optional, and so we're just going to install it. And once you're ready, hit install. Once it's finished, you should see a window looking like this saying CLion has been installed onto your computer. Click Finish to close setup. And if you want to start CLioning right away, hit Run CLion and then hit Finish. So we will be hitting Run CLion and then we will hit Finish. Once that's done, then you should see a window looking like this saying JetBrains User Agreement. You want to check I confirm that I have read and accept the terms of the user agreement, and then hit Continue. Next, you don't have to send the anonymous statistics to JetBrains. If you want to, you could, but we're not doing it. Next, you should see a loading screen looking like this, and that means CLion has been successfully installed and it's now actually launching. Next, you should see a window looking like this saying license activation. So here you want to, this CLion is actually a paid app, and so we're going to evaluate it for free. And so this is a pretty much free license for 31 days. And so we're going to hit evaluate. Now, after a bunch of trial and error, we could not figure out a way to renew this license other than completely uninstalling it and reinstalling it. And so what you want to do once the evaluation is over is that you want to just go into your Windows Start menu and just uninstall it from there, and then also delete the installer just in case any cache is there, and then just download it all over again, complete all of the steps, and just do a complete reinstallation of it. And so once you activate your uh, evaluation license, you should see a window looking like this. And so this will say CLion in 2021.1, and the window should look something like this. And this means that you're done. Alright, back to Mac. And so here we have finished installing CLion, and now we're going to go through the steps of activating it with the evaluation license and seeing how to reactivate it after the evaluation license is over. So once you open CLion from your All Apps folder, you should see a window saying verifying CLion, and that is because your Mac is verifying that CLion has no malware. And as you can see, we will get verified that there's no malware in a minute. Once that window is gone, you should see another window saying, CLion is an app downloaded from the internet. Are you sure you want to open it? Hit open, and that will allow CLion to actually launch. Once launched, you should see a loading screen looking like this, with CLion 2021.1, and then the JetBrains logo at the bottom left. Bottom right. And then you shouldn't be seeing a window looking like this, and this is because I have a license, and so it just auto activated it. And so what you should see is something like this, the window that's on the front. So it should say activate CLion or evaluate for free. You want to hit evaluate for free and then hit evaluate. And so this is your pretty much free license for 31 days. Okay, now we're going to go through the steps on how to reactivate this license once it's over. So let's say today is the day when your license is over and you can't use CLion anymore. So what you want to do is you want to go to your home folder, scroll down and select library, go into it, then go into caches. Then here you will see a bunch of folders and files. You want to search through this and find JetBrains. And as you can see, I'm still searching for it. It's going to take a minute. As you can see, there it is. Once in, you should find the folder that says CLion 2021.1, which corresponds to the version of CLion. And so you want to go into that folder. And all you need to do is just delete everything that's inside of this folder. And then you want to quit CLion and reopen it. And as you can see, it took out the evaluation license for me and reactivated it with my actual license. And as you can see, we can reevaluate it for free, which is great, and which is what we want to do. And that's it. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching.